immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure.
Shut this defense here. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon comes in. Welcome to 2025. Today. This one the other way. Defense still going back. The drag walks up and down.
Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt three right on the money.
Takes his shot for Darby. Flag out. Doesn't matter. Touchdown.
Stealing first. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Woo!
March down. Yeah. Gotta go further. There we go. There we go. There we go. Stealing first. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Woo!
Tired, folks. No tired.
Here we go.
March down. Yeah. Gotta go further. There we go. There we go. There we go.
What is up, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps? Welcome on into Monday's beautiful edition of Pitchfork Lunch. And yes, you see what I got here. I know it was a tough one yesterday, but again, they beat the team down south Wednesday. And the other Wildcats in the conference came in, Kansas State. We'll get to that, and it was tough. But yes, like I said, as you see the awesome shirt. Welcome into Pitchfork Lunch. I am Michael Caratino at Diablos00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. Yes, you know it. You love it. You can check out So Live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Of course, I know I remind you of that all the time. And also, I know this is so crazy, guys. You've never heard this before. You can go to the wonderful world of the IG and watch it there. As all you have to do is go to michael.caratinudo.5. I know, it's crazy. Add a dot between first and last name and then a .5 at the end. Bam, there you go. But yes, it's one of those things where guess what? You can watch on IG, you can watch on the good old X, Arsenal's Twitter, and last but not least, you can also see this wonderful Hail Marley shirt on YouTube. Go to YouTube, guys, because you need to watch live, but you also need to subscribe because you have missed a plethora of phenomenal con reviews, and we have more coming up this week, my friends. We were out swimming. Throughout last week out at swimming. Tomorrow, again, confirming, should be having Coach Powers on from hockey. But again, you have just missed a plethora of phenomenal con reviews and sound and interviews and stuff. So yeah, you need to subscribe. You need to watch live, but you need to subscribe because then, if you haven't been watching, and when I say haven't been watching, I mean season 1 and season 2. You can binge watch season 1, keep watching season 3. Binge watch season 2, keep watching season 3, and then a lot of these con reviews, you'll start to piece them together because we have return guests, and it's all there. So it's all there for you guys. So just so you know, you can, again, whether it's coaches, players, voices, insiders, alum, like phenomenal. And you go to YouTube, you guys know how to get there. See my name, Michael Caratino, but the page is at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, guys, and subscribe. Because again, there's a lot to get to, and we're gonna get right into it, man. I tell you what, Saturday was vomitous, as you know, because Territorial Cup up here, and yes, vomitous not because they didn't earn it, they're not worthy, unfortunately, but Arizona beat Arizona State men's hoops. I showed you that on the way in. We're going to hear from Coach Hurley. But ASU did fall short again. They battled, man. It was crazy tough. It was a crazy close first half. Second half, spots where Arizona's kind of pulled away, and opposite of Tucson when that happened earlier in the second half there. ASU, again, just couldn't find some hoops. Mo Odom got in foul trouble. We'll hear from Coach Hurley again. You played the number one team in the country twice, and they were number one. Well, October said the obvious both times, as you guys know. You played them twice, right? And you played them twice, and it's crazy to me because basically, you could say about 70 of 80 minutes, and you're toe-to-toe with the number one team in the country. Rivalry or not, rivalry, it makes a difference. But, there's a chance. U of A had a chance to boat them, and, they pulled away in the end. But, it was just it's a wonderful thing, Pitchfork Lunchers, I can say this now, that we have a beautiful campus, and it can sanitize itself of a lot because when there's just that much too many Arizona fans on that campus, Oh, it just brings the beauty and the mojo down. But look, 942 crew did a pretty good job. Pretty good job. So I talked about cheering. Yes, it was loud. Yes, unfortunately, there was a lot of that chants for that other school, and you heard it when I was playing. The sound is vomitous, but you guys heard that. But I mean, look, fans were more so proactive. But yeah, you heard from Coach Hurley. It's just frustrating that there's that many Arizona fans in Tempe, and it's been like that for the longest time. Like, there's got to be a stop. I'm sorry. Like, I don't care if I sound like a 5-year-old. Like, I'm not saying some can't get tickets, but it should not be as freaking many. It should not be almost like a 60-40 split to where it's 60% ASU. I mean, at home, 55-45, close to that. Like, no. So if you're a season ticket holder and you sell your tickets to Arizona fans at whatever ridiculous price, I think ASU needs to come out with basketball. You get season tickets. Okay. Oh, the Arizona game. Yep, you got it. That's fine. You can't. You will pick up the tickets here. You will come in. We are not selling them. If you do come pick them up and then you give them to an Arizona fan, because again, they could still do that too, but they still have to go down there to get them. Next year, you can get season tickets. It will not include the Arizona game because that's just, again, I know you have to allot a certain amount of tickets. And yes, there are ASU fans that go get into McHale Center, but come on, you guys know it is not nearly the same. Not nearly the same. And I always rebuttal that was like, well, who wants to go to Tucson anyway, right? But I love my sis, I love my mom, brother-in-law, niece, so I get to go there. But yeah, I mean, just insanely ridiculous. So again, not bad. The 942 crew brought it, but Koa Pete, I mean, this kid obviously, 5-star, YASU, I mean, local kid out of Perry High School, stays in Arizona, just goes down to Tucson, had a hell of a game. Hasn't been the best 3-point shooters, and he hit 2. I think he was like 2 of 5. So, I mean, 40% for him from 3. But anyway, so there's that. Yes, I get it out of the way. I'm not going to ignore it. It sucks that they lost. Went into hoops yesterday, lost to K-State after beating Arizona on Wednesday, and K-State came out with a plan early, and again, ASU punched back, but they got down by too much. They were down by 24 into the third quarter. They cut it down to 12 and down to 9. I mean, they were making runs. It's almost pseudo like Vince Lombardi, the great Vince Lombardi quote when he's like, "We never, we didn't lose. We just ran out of time." Which again, if that game had another quarter, and yes, I know if you're sending it, but the way ASU was making runs, and again, the mid-range game, and man, McKenna Brackens forks up, had one hell of a game because against that K-State zone, and man, you want to talk about copycat? I guarantee you teams are gonna go zone on ASU. Talking to Jeff Metcalf at the game, friend of the show. I mean, since they've struggled from the 3-point line this year, maybe that's been their like one little glitchish. Since they've struggled from the 3-point line, it was tough. As a team. So they got down by 24. They took a lot of threes. Again, didn't make a lot of them, but made a run, missed some free throws that they probably should have hit. But overall, I mean, look, this team, but most importantly, this team not quitting. Molly Miller's team was going to keep punching. Shots might not go down. Other team might be having a day. I mean, hell, Kansas State shot 60% from the 3-point line. Yeah. Or like, I got to check again, but yeah, it was insane, guys. They were just on fire. And I mean, that's, 60% from 3. At some point, you got to tip your cap to a team, which sucks. But yeah, Kansas State was absolutely rocking it. So we'll hear from Molly Miller, we'll hear from Bobby Hurley, we're going to hear from Cam Scatterboot and Spencer Torkelson because the ASU baseball celebrity alumni softball game, and Scatterboot's out there football-wise. Both Kyle Williams went to Chaparral. The other Kyle Williams, a few years later. And then you have, Kyle Dodd playing it, Mickey Mitchell, Graham Orsini, the awesome athletic director. I mean, he was a baseball guy too, but played in it. Jeff Larish, speaking of former Sun Devil baseball players besides Spencer Torkelson, Chip Goswitch was there as well too. So again, just a ton there. But we're going to hear from Cam Scadaboo and Spencer Torkelson in this, and Molly Miller and Bobby Hurley. So yeah, going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to start with Bobby Hurley after Saturday's tough one. Man, again, you can just this team has, and yeah, there's a few things. I mean, yes, the team could obviously improve on. I'll say this before we go to break, but man, I mean, the effort too. Same thing. The effort, the will, there, but it's got to convert to wins. And yes, I know against your rival, you don't want to get swept and lose twice. It doesn't make it any better that it was a number one team in the nation, guys. But I mean, yeah, Bobby's just trying to keep pushing forward and keep rocking it. So, but yeah, there's a lot of things Arizona did right. We'll hear from Coach Hurley after that, and then we'll hear from Coach Hurley, and then we'll hear from Coach Miller, and then we'll go over to celebrity softball. Also, hockey. They split with Colorado College, by the way, over the weekend on the road. They return home this weekend. That's, I think, on St. Cloud State. Yeah, they lost. They won 6-5 in overtime Friday night. Guys, that was awesome. I watched that game. I watched the first 2 periods, and then the third period I wasn't able to watch, but I was able to. I'm literally following the play-by-play, like listening, and it's like quick. And I mean, the fact that Colorado College got down 2-0, forced, you fast forward, but they force overtime, or the game goes to overtime. It's a 5, and then Shelber got his second goal of the season and his career. Assist from Bennett Shimmick in overtime when it's 3-on-3. They get the 6-5 win. But then it caught up with them on Saturday night because, well, they ended up losing 4-1. Colorado College got an empty netter. Colorado College got an empty netter to make it 4-1. But the Devils, again, just in a tough place to play. Obviously, Colorado College, not too bad. So, but yeah, I mean, for Coach Bowers, and like I said, they have St. Cloud State coming up. We'll get into that more so tomorrow. But yeah, this team, again, hockey, you got to, like Coach says, stack wins, and that'll be, winning series. So again, it's going to be huge to get 2 against St. Cloud State this weekend. We got a minute to talk about that, but definitely wanted to get to that. Women's golf on the leaderboard. They're rocking it. So yeah. But we'll step aside when we get back. Like I said, we'll hear from Bobby Hurley after their tough loss to Arizona, and then we'll hear from Molly Miller after the K-State loss, which again, team battled, fought, and yeah, they're just not getting out of anybody's way. So that's what makes a tournament team to me. So anyway, we'll step aside and have more Pitchfork Lunch coming up.
first half, and then, you know, very similar to like a mirror of our last game in Tucson. Just really good first half, and then, you know, whether it's they're just too big and physical that, you know, they wear you down, and eventually, you know, or the encouragement of having our defense in front of us in the first half, and now it's down at the other end, and, you know, we just weren't able to stand up to the challenge on the interior, whether that meant, you know, stopping their drives or getting a big defensive rebound when we needed to. We still had our chances. We didn't shoot free throws well. I think we were 4 for 15 on unguarded threes. So things against a team as good as this Arizona team is, you can't, you know, afford to do those things offensively. They opened the door even a little bit to start the second half. We got 2 stops right away, and then we couldn't do anything with it at the offensive end to try and, you know, get a little bit of control, you know, to start the half. So that was frustrating as well.
Questions?
How well do you think the team played?
What's that?
How well do you think the team played?
I mean, I'm happy that we were as competitive as we were. The score, to me, is not how close the game was. You know, if you take, you can go right to the 6-minute mark or so, a single-digit game. We had our chances. Just, you know, we could not deal with their strength, their size, their ability to do things that physically, you know, our roster could not stay with.
Coach.
Plus, I mean, then you got these other variables come in. I talked about unguarded threes, going 4 for 15. I mean, Koa Pete is 4 for 15 on the season from 3. So he just made 2 more. Now, granted, we weren't guarding him at all out there, and that was by design, but like still to, you know, things like that start happening. In addition, it makes it even harder to win against a team this good.
How about Mo Odom when he picked up his 4th foul?
Yeah, bad, really bad for us. You know, I tell you, he's got to know better. He's an older player. I mean, I thought there was like minimal to no contact in a game like this. It's, you know, borderline whether that's a foul or not. But it was his 4th foul, and, you know, he had to sit out then for, you know, 8 minutes or 9 minutes. So that's like really tough because they were having a hard time with high ball screen in the first half. We put Kribis in a high ball screen with Mo, and they were struggling guarding that. And, you know, not having him on the floor definitely hurt for that.
What happened at the end of the first media timeout? Was that supposed to be a bob and they put it as a sideline out of bounds? What happened?
You mean first half?
Yeah, first half, first media
No,
timeout.
I just wanted to know where the ball was. Sometimes when the ball gets knocked out of bounds, you're unsure, and I wanted to go in the huddle and know like where, like we're gonna, because we struggled early in the game in getting the ball in bounds. So that's why I was thinking like, okay, you know, where is this ball being taken out so I could like draw something up to get the ball.
You guys only got out rebounded by 1 in the first half, so was it just them wearing you down
I
in
think
the
it's
second?
I think it's cumulative, yes, in a way, and it's you know, there's a lot of physicality. They duck in really hard, and you know, you have more energy earlier in a game to keep fighting through that stuff. I mean, they're one of the best teams that I've gone against in duck-ins. They are great at ducking in. There are teams like Florida, Gonzaga, Arizona, BYU that just have mastered the art of ducking in and taking help defense and eliminating help defense so that someone could go drive to the basket. I mean, they are brilliant at it.
Coach, it's nice speaking with you. I have the for depth and detail. Reflecting on the season's series against this #1 ranked team, Arizona, what do you reflect on it? And the second question is, what went wrong for the Sun Devils in the second half of the game?
I mean, the last part of your question, I think I've answered that already to the best that I can. The first part, I mean, I thought we played them at their place as competitive as anybody, maybe minus UCLA. You know, we played them right to the end. It was a 1-possession game, so we played them well and didn't win. And same thing here, we played them well for about 30 minutes and kind of fell apart last 10 minutes.
How does this Arizona team stack up to the other ones that you've faced here?
You know, if they shoot it, you know, if Burries can make enough shots, and, you know, Del Orso and the Russian kid, then they're a problem. I a big problem for, mostly anybody. Their point guard is great. He does a great job of running their team, playing defense, making good decisions, making key shots. And then they got great inside play. It just depends on the perimeter shooting. If they could really stabilize that, and that's something then they're going to have a chance to go distance.
Big Johnson's usually such a big part of the offense. Did they just do a good job taking him out of his element?
Who's that?
Big Johnson.
Big.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure, like his individual game doesn't really matter a whole lot to me right now. I'm just kind of thinking about the bigger picture. I'm not sure on Big exactly and how they scheme to guard him.
Two more.
Is it more encouraging or frustrating that for 100 minutes or so this year you've hung with the number one team in the country, where how good you could be in other games if you're playing this well, or do you take it more as a positive that, hey, we've got something if we just put it together?
I don't know. It's kind of too late to put things together, I would say, but like more or less like we've been scrappy. We compete. We've beaten Texas, beaten Oklahoma, beaten Santa Clara, close games, fortunate to win a couple of them. We've kind of done as good as we can do. We today played as good a basketball as this team was probably capable of. Now, we should be able to shoot free throws better. There's no excuse for that. There had to be 2 or 3 more rebounds that we should have gotten that we didn't get. And maybe if you do that, it closes the gap a little bit. We came close to our ceiling.
Talk about getting DFA cooking. What did you think about the environment today?
Our fans that did show up were vocal. Unfortunately, there were too many red shirts in the arena, so it was not a home game. It was like a crowd 50-50, 60-40 either way. It's hard to say, but it was loud in there both ways. When they got it going, it was loud. When we had a little spurt, it got loud. I got no real strong opinion on it.
All right, thank you, Coach. Thanks.
Oklahoma, beaten Santa Clara, close games, fortunate to win a couple of them. We've kind of done as good as we can do. We today played as good a basketball as this team was probably capable of. Now, we should be able to shoot free throws better. There's no excuse for that. There had to be 2 or 3 more rebounds that we should have gotten that we didn't get. And maybe if you do that, it closes the gap a little bit. Came close to our ceiling.
Talk about getting DFA cooking. What did you think about the environment today?
Our fans that did show up were vocal. Unfortunately, there were too many red shirts in the arena, so it was not a home game. It was like a crowd 50-50, 60-40 either way. It's hard to say, but it was loud in there both ways. When they got it going, it was loud. When we had a little spurt, it got loud. I got no real strong opinion on it.
All right, thank you, Coach. Thanks.
And you guys heard Coach Hurley right there. There's a lot there, guys. He definitely, they're like saying the ceiling, but Mo Odom getting in foul trouble, that was huge. That was definitely a tough one for them, but sitting for that 9 minutes, because he's right. The ball screen things that was working, a lot of stuff that worked in Tucson in the first half. Of course, Tommy Lloyd made some adjustments, and again, they're what, 22-0 now? 22-0, and Miami of Ohio is the only other team in men's hoops that is undefeated, because Nebraska had lost to Michigan last week. They were also 21-0, 20-0 of that ilk. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, it's like it's not about taking a silver lining. It's just talking about what they do well and physically. They got under the officiating. was bad for ASU for 3/4 of the game. It was terrible. And then U of A got calls, but then they were both getting calls that it was just absolute crap. And if you watched it, again, there were times that U of A got called for fouls on guys. I said, I'm like, that's not a foul. It's ridiculous. So I'm not just saying every single thing that ASU had. U of A definitely had fouls called against them that weren't a foul. So, I mean, it was a joke. But again, they can't talk about it. We can't talk about it. It's like you got to ignore it because it sucks so bad. Anywho, but yeah, I mean, the Devils, look, they got their work cut out for them, man. I mean, you have so now the next game for the men is Utah. They're at Utah this Wednesday and then at Colorado next Saturday. So they hit the road for two very tough games, two tough places to play. Wednesday, again, we'll get to it, but it's on CBS Sports, also 98.7 FM. And then Sunday at Colorado's on ESPN2. So go from there. But yes, but let's shift gears. Molly Miller, again, it was a tough loss to Kansas State after you come off beating Arizona. You lose to West Virginia and Cincinnati. Cincinnati is definitely a team that should have been a win. But you beat Arizona, then you lose to K-State 74-67. And like I said, down by 24 at one point in the second half. In the third quarter. They charged back, and they had no quit. But let's hear from Coach Miller. And, by the way, McKenna Brackens as well. They, again, Big 12 doing it. Coach, player, kind of choppy coming together. But anyway, here's Molly Miller, who's now 50. What's their record? They're 18-5 right now. So in her last 58 games, she is 50-8. Yeah, so looking to get back in the win column as, again, a tough Oklahoma State team who just beat the team down south yesterday. Will be here on Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. That's on ESPN+. It is Breast Cancer Awareness game 2, so wear pink. We'll talk about that as it gets closer. But, yeah, I mean, look, Kansas State shot. It was ridiculous. I'll give the numbers. But, anyway, let's hear from Coach Miller and McKenna Brackens.
Coach, do I start with a statement or – okay, here we go. It's Aya Abdi for Devils in Detail. So the Sun Devils had basically a tough day on the offensive end in which Jack Mitty, which I spoke with him, he said that a lot of credit goes towards the defenders of the Wildcats. I'm just curious, what has went wrong for the Sun Devils today?
Yeah, they made shots and we missed shots, to be pretty simple. Now, you look at, we made 3 more field goals than them, but they're threes. You can't expect to win a ball game after giving up 12 threes. And most of them were in that first half. So then you're digging out of a hole. I mean, a really big hole, and that's hard to do. Now, it's no moral victories, but they didn't lay down and die. I mean, there was still fight till the very, very end, which I can be proud of. But this is a team where we knew they were going to shoot the 3, and we didn't stop that. So that's got to be extra focus on our part. We've got to regroup and be able to say, hey, this is game film and scout that we're presenting that needs to be really, you got to lock in. The first play of the game was a transition 3. That's our number 1 key to the game, is stop transition 3s. So it's going to be a long night if you can't take away their strengths.
And for McKenna, basically, the Sun Devils had a fight in the fourth quarter in which there was like one takeaway in which they lost by single digits instead of double digits. What do you take away from that today?
Just that we're not going to just lay down when we get down. And I'm proud that my teammates fought back. And we went on a run, and just that we're resilient.
Go. The zone has kind of caused us a little bit of trouble this year. Arizona caused a little trouble tonight, caused some trouble. What is going to be the biggest focal point to kind of break that ship and be able to play this season?
Shoot it with confidence. I mean, I still thought we got some pretty good looks, both at Arizona and tonight. Again, we've made 3 more field goals than them, but you know, we've got to be able to shoot it with confidence. Someone's got to put the ball in the hole. Now, to me, I don't know if we're gonna up that percentage dramatically in the next month or so. So we've got to rely on our defense. We cannot let this team. 67 should have been enough to win this game. That should have been enough. We cannot allow this team to score 74 points. So the defense is stuff that we can improve on. I don't know if I can magically, you know, have a player shoot 5% better right now. But the defense is where we have to create our offense. And like I said, 67 should have been enough to win this game.
Jeff.
What? When we were down by 13, you're down at halftime by 13. But then there was like a period there from the third quarter where you got down by 24. That seemed like the key because then they got energized again and finished the game strong. So was there something coming out in the third quarter that just didn't go right?
Well, we had to shift the energy. That's what we talked about. When you get down that much, we have to mix it up a little bit. So I think the dynamic of, can we do that for 40 minutes? Probably not, because you can pick it apart. So when they're kind of using time and score and they're not super pressing to score, we can double, we can press, we can throw 3-2 people at the offense, and it worked to our favor. It's that sense of urgency. If we can play like that for the last, 16 minutes, we should be able to play that for 40 minutes. So that's where we have to kind of dig deep and find that intensity. Like I said, on the defensive end more than the offensive end, that's where we have to improve for this stretch in February.
And McKenna, when you were, obviously they were playing the zone from the beginning, but it seemed like as the game went on, you were getting more and more comfortable just kind of making those cuts and getting into the mid-range. What were you seeing out there?
They were really focused on Gabby. So when you have Gabby out there, it kind of stretches out the zone, and the middle opens up a little bit. We knew coming in that they were going to try to take away that middle and the high post. So I guess just over the course of the game, I just had to figure out where the open spots were and allow my teammates to give me the ball in the open spots.
Breon January. Oh, do you want to go? Breon. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Breon January was also at the game today, which was a bobblehead giveaway. Has Breon January spoke to the team after the game? Which type of messages has she given you?
We saw her. She actually is going to come to the radio show on Monday. She was at the softball game, all-star game, celebrity game today, so we didn't get to see her before the game. But she'll be on the radio show Monday. She's going to come to practice Monday, so we're going to make it a weekend with her. I mean, she's been doing all these appearances. It was really nice to have her at the game, have the bobblehead, have her at the all-star game with baseball today, and she's a figurehead and a bobblehead for our program. And for her to come back and be supportive, I think that's been really special, and we'll get to spend some more intimate time as a program tomorrow with her.
The kind of question for both of you, communication is key, and it seems like at times there's definitely a lack of communication. I just want to get your thoughts on what you kind of saw before.
That also goes back to what she was saying about lack of focus, because I feel like we practiced that all week, the communication piece, finding in transition, that was like the main thing we worked on. So lack of focus, that's on us. And
yeah, I mean, when you really have every guard out there as a shooter. So you have to know where they are, you have to be able to rotate. If you get mixed up in transition, you might have one of your post players picking up a 4 for a little bit, or a 3 or 2. So it's just talking your way through the chaos, and that's something we can improve on. We're capable of that. I thought it was, the sense of urgency, you kind of have to talk and communicate when you're flying around. It was a little better in the late fourth quarter, but we've got to bring that the whole game.
Good morning, Jeff. Go ahead.
Just, Mitchell said some good things about you. What's it like coaching against someone that's done this that long and that kind of experience?
When I was even at Division II, I would watch these coaches, and when I was at Grand Canyon, because I'm a basketball junkie, I'd watch these teams and these games, and they'd go back and forth, and you would see the Bill Finley and Mitty kind of chess game. I love that, and he's a vet, really good human being, kind of welcomed me with open arms. So when you have great coaches in the league, because only coaches know what coaches go through, so we can be frenemies. There could be 40 minutes where we want to beat each other, but at the end of the day, you have those peers to kind of look up to, since he's had so much success, and there's been a lot of coaches that have had success in our league that I really admire, and he's definitely one of them.
Guys good? Thanks, Kate.
Yeah, I mean, here, McKenna Brackens and Molly Miller right there, Coach Miller right there about, I mean, that should have been enough to win the game. Like I said, 60% from the three-point line for K-State, and they shot 51% from the field. ASU shot 44% from the field, but just 5 for 23 from the three-point line. Again, at some point, stop, check, and go to the hoop. When they were going to the hoop, it was good. The Devils were shot 80% from the free throw line. They had 10 free throws taken, but again, it's not going to the hoop a ton. I mean, 8 for 10, 80%, awesome. At home, love it. K-State shot 74%. They took 19 free throws. And again, a lot of those were late because the Devils were trying to come back. So, and they were coming back. I mean, that's the only quarter they outscored K-State was the fourth quarter. It was 23-16. But K-State was up 17-15 after one. But then the Devils in that second quarter, again, just cannot get shots to go. And a lot of them were challenged. They had some issues. With the zone defense, and it was causing us problems, and they're missing some threes. But that was only scored 9 points in the second quarter. It was 20-9, and then the third quarter it was 21-20 favor of K-State, and then the fourth quarter, like I said, 23-16. Hence earlier why I said, guys, and again, coulda, shoulda, woulda, but if that game keeps going, and you treat it like the Vince Lombardi quote, we didn't lose, we just ran out of time. If that game had one more quarter, I think the Devils do win it, because again, they're just getting in there. They're getting in their spots. McKenna Brackens, I mean, phenomenal game that she had yesterday. 20 points, 8 for 13 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3, but 4 for 5 from the line. I mean, she was, like team 80%. But yeah, 8 for 13. So, I mean, that's over 60% shooting for her. And then 4 for 5 from the line, 6 rebounds for McKenna Brackens, who had 20, but Gabrielli also had 18, 6 for 17 shooting, 3 for 11 from 3. Again, they left her open, and at times, some of them were challenged. Sometimes that they were strategically leaving her. They strategically left her open. They also did a good job swinging the ball. Jaya Levette, to me, I mean, she had 9 points. She was 4 for 7 from the field. And 5 rebounds in her time off the bench, played very, very well. But yeah, it was again, it's that's a game that, again, it's their first loss at home too, by the way, guys. I know if you remember that, but yeah, they are now 12-1 at home. So yeah, and like I said, Oklahoma State coming here Wednesday. But hey, we're gonna wrap on this. We're gonna hear from Cam Scattaboo again, as you guys know. So yeah, I mean, we'll hear from Cam Scattaboo. I promise you that. We'll hear from him, and then we'll hear from Spencer Torgelson, who obviously played baseball here, is with the phenomenal job. Again, and but they're here both playing in the celebrity golf tournament, or softball, sorry, the celebrity alumni softball game presented by ASU Baseball. Gotta love it. Coach Bloomquist, they did this. It's the second year they did this, and so without further ado, though, here is Cam Scattaboo after the game yesterday, in which you did see Well, I'll play this, then I'll play the interview.
Scott, what's it like to be back here, play a little softball out here today?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, all the fans that came out to watch and support is pretty cool. So I haven't been a part of nothing like this really.
How about that? How's your ankle doing now? You're looking pretty good out there.
Yeah, I feel good. You know, I'm a couple months out of surgery now, so it's not something we can keep dwelling on. You know, we've got to look past it and realize that I'm getting healthy.
You have softball experience. It looked like you were pretty comfortable out there.
I've played baseball for 15 years growing up, you know, since I was 5 years old, so it's been something I've always done.
Does it ever wow you, the love you get when you come back to Tempe everywhere you go?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't matter where I'm at, I get it, and it's awesome. You know, sometimes it's overwhelming, but you're always going to look back and be like, wow, you're going to be 50 one day and no one's going to know who you are when you're walking down the road, so got to embrace it now.
When you were hanging out with obviously like Jordan Tyson, I mean, James Harden coming to the game yesterday, see Coach Dillingham, just what was all that like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome to, you know, I go back to the facility here and there and check up on Coach and the players and stuff, but seeing Jordan was pretty cool, you know, seeing him prep for the draft and stuff, so excited for him, and then I'm excited for, you know, the Devils next year.
Have you given him any advice heading into the draft process?
I mean, the biggest thing is to be real. Just be yourself, and, you know, people are going to love who you are. If they love you, they love you. If they don't, they don't. So biggest thing for him is he's got to be himself.
And you've been really involved coming to a lot of ASU events since you got drafted. What does that say about how special this place was that you want to come back so often?
Yeah, I mean, this is home for me, so it's somewhere I'm going to always come back to, somewhere I'm going to continue to come back to. I'm going to live here till I'm hopefully 80 years old, so this is home for me.
Okay, good to see you once again. It's Aya Abdeen for Devils in Detail. I'm just curious, how being a part of the celebrity softball and also celebrity game was today? How special was it to be a part of it?
It was awesome. Just to see all the legends that have played here and, you know, done good things here and be a part of this and be included into it has been something that, you know, I never really thought about. So it's been awesome.
And when you did a flat backflip, do you have flashbacks from when you played baseball in high school, basically?
Yeah, I mean, baseball was something I loved doing. I almost wanted to play it more than I wanted to play football, but football ended up working out. So
how was it catching up with Torque? Didn't really know him a little bit.
Say it again.
How was it talking to Torque today?
Oh, it was awesome. You know, just seeing him, you could see how good he is just from the simple gestures he does. But he's a good dude, and you know, I'm excited to be a part of this more often.
Have you dropped any hints to the front office in New York about Jordan? Like, hey, there's another Sun Devil coming out in the draft.
I mean, I'm going to try to get all my guys in the NFL, so they all have to come to the Giants, and that's what I'm going to try to do. But hopefully get something worked out.
One of the way early predictions has the Giants taking Jordan. I saw it yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance they get him. I mean, I'm not in charge, so I can't really tell you. I'm still just coming out of my rookie year, so I don't really have any power. So they're going to do what they do, and hopefully they make the right decisions.
What have you made of all the activity that Kenny's had in the portal? Have you been keeping up with what the Sun Devil football process is?
Yeah, I pick it out here and there, and you know, and I see it consistently throughout the posts of Instagram and all that stuff. So I see a little bit of it, but I'm not too locked in on it.
And what have you made of just the fans from? I mean, they sold out every home game this past season. What has it been like for you seeing the growth in the program?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing is just having the support of the fans. You know, Billy says it all the time. We need people in butts and seats, and that's what's going to make us win games. You know, people are going to want to play there. When a kid comes on a visit and there's a full stadium screaming, they're going to want to be there. So that's something we need, and hopefully it just continues.
You got a Super Bowl prediction, Scott?
I'm not too sure who's going to win. I mean, I hate both teams, so.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Arizona State or Arizona State baseball, so I try to give back as much as I can, no, it's great to be back.
Right here.
All right, guys.
What do you like so much about coming back here and meeting some of the future?
Yeah, I always thought it was really cool when I was here to like see guys come back and donate their time and their energy towards the players, because that's what it's all about. When I was here, and I looked up to the guys that moved on to the next level, and see what I could learn from those guys. So being able to come back and maybe just help one guy out or help two guys out, that's everything.
Right here, it's Abdi for Devils in Detail. How is it like getting to play alongside Cam Scatterwood today?
Oh, it's really cool. He's an unbelievable athlete, but he's an unbelievable person too. And it's actually my first time meeting him, and he's a baller. I mean, he's a special dude, and gosh, I didn't know he could pick it like that. That was pretty impressive.
And do you remember his performance in the Peach Bowl as well?
Absolutely, yeah. I watch ASU football every single season, and when he was our running back, it was special. He just not only the way he ran the football, but I feel like his his confidence in the way he played the game was like super receptive by all the guys, and was contagious.
You were choosing to come here. How did the national TV how did that affect your decision to come here?
It was really easy for me, honestly. I didn't really have a college program growing up, so when I knew I was going to have an opportunity to maybe play college baseball, I was a big Barry Bonds fan, San Francisco Giants fan growing up, so I was pretty much just like, where did Barry Bonds go to school? And someone was like, oh, he went to Arizona State. So I was like, yeah, that's where I want to go. It didn't take much convincing for me to want to come here.
And obviously, Willie being an alum, playing here, going on majors, coming back and coaching, what have you thought so far of each year that he's been here, how he's building the program back up?
Willie, he's been through it in pro ball. He's grinded it out. So I think the biggest thing that these guys can take away from him is just experience. He's seen it at every single level. He's had bad seasons, he's had great seasons. So he's seen it all. And my best coaches, my entire career, whether it's high school, they've seen it all, and they have that experience and that feel. He has a lot of feel with the guys, and I think that goes a long way in building a program and that mentality to where they might have the number one recruit, but who cares? We're going to win as a team.
ASU baseball made it back to the postseason last year. They set attendance records here last year. What does it mean to you as an alum to see how the program is kind of trending back upwards?
Yeah, it's awesome. I think we had some really good teams here. COVID kind of cut us short, so but ASU baseball is always going to be all right. I mean, we're obviously going to get back into the national championship conversation, but this is always a really good program, and it's a really tough time to compete in college sports, and we're right in the thick of things. So I think it's all positive.
There's a lot of talk about activating the Valley. You guys have kind of activated Detroit as well with the gritty Tigers culture. How have you seen the cultures kind of parallel a little bit in the last few years with Detroit and ASU?
Yeah, I think you can I learned a lot at ASU. I mean, we didn't have a great season my freshman season, and we kind of had we knew we had the pieces, but we just had to get the experience and grind our way. And I experienced that the first couple of years in the major leagues with the Tigers. We were a respected organization, but we weren't performing to the ability and the standard that we had put on ourselves. And to kind of grind through that with the guys, it was cool, because I've been through it at ASU as well, and to kind of help turn things around in Detroit, it's been a special moment. To kind of grind through that with the guys, it was cool, because I've been through it at ASU as well, and to kind of help turn things around in Detroit, it's been a special moment. It's good.
And there you go, Spencer Torkelson, Detroit Tigers, having a hell of a career. I mean, this kid hit bombs. As he got further, like you said, COVID kind of cut it short, which is a bummer. But, obviously for him, a lot of athletes everywhere, college sports everywhere. Unfortunately, it had to happen. But, again, it got rolling again. But, yeah, I mean, him coming back, Jeff Flaherty was back, Chip Groswich was back. What else from baseball? I have to go look at the thing again. But, yeah, awesome thing. I mean, again, 10 o'clock yesterday morning, that got rolling. But like Kyle Dodd playing again in front of the program, Mickey Mitchell, who hit 4 dingers last year, didn't hit any, but there were some home runs. You saw Scadaboo's, you saw Torkelson's. But yeah, both teams had some home runs, and like Spencer said, their team won. So it's still, again, it doesn't matter. The celebrity thing is softball. It's all about winning. It's great to see Dallas Escobedo out there again, pitcher for softball national championship team back in 2011. Brianna Maka was out there. Yeah, quite a few softball players too. So yeah, absolutely awesome. But love what baseball puts that on. I mean, again, and like I said last year, they did it, and it was again awesome. And then this year, yeah, absolutely rocked it. So, yeah, tis very, very awesome. To have that. But yeah, Spencer Torkelson, again, him coming back. We're also going to hear tomorrow. We're going to hear from, I don't know tomorrow. Definitely Coach Powers. Probably some softball too. But we'll see how that. Well, again, we'll work it out. But yes, Coach Powers will be tomorrow. But Coach Van Neal is out there too. Talk to him. Talk to Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams had played at Chaparral. He's the offensive coordinator at Chaparral, former football. Well, he wanted to play baseball at ASU too, and he was able to. But you'll hear from him. We'll talk about it. You'll see it. But yeah. So hey, that is going to do it for today. Again, yes, congratulations to, I will say their names, Arizona, for winning the Territorial Cup game on Saturday. They sweep the season series. Oh, it is just, yeah, I know. It's like throwing up in my mouth, guys. You're on Pitchfork Lunch. You Pitchfork Lunchers know that. But, yes, but hey, I will say this. I think fight-wise, this team, again, I think it's going to rattle a few wins. I know it's, February is a short month, but I think they're going to rattle off a few wins. And no rhyme or reason. Well, the reason is the way they play. The rhyme of it, I don't know, but the reason is the way they've been playing, and I just think again get over it and through it. So, yeah, absolutely awesome. But yeah, I think they're going to string a few wins. And as for the women, they are going to take Oklahoma State down on Wednesday night in Desert Financial Arena. You need to get your butts there. We'll talk about it, but. Hey, that's going to do it again. Happy Monday, phenomenal Monday. I will see you tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. And yes, as per Coach Van Neal's back-to-back reigning Big 12 champs women's volleyball, it is hashtag our state. Yes, they just won that game, but we beat them in women's hoops, and we owned them in volleyball, and we own them in swimming, and we're going there in swimming soon too. So again, it is hashtag our state, team down south. Just remember that. And yeah, like I said, I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same channel, at Diablo00X, also known as a Twitter, my IG, Michael.Carasino.5, the YouTube channel, guys. Again, if you're just joining me, which some may have just jumped in, again, I'll go to YouTube and subscribe so you can watch the archive shows, because again, from season 1 on, and all the phenomenal con reviews that you've missed, like I said, and yeah, even hearing from players. Hale Marley, gotta love it. Again, tough one yesterday, but it's regular season. Just keep rolling. So, yes, I'll see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. And you guys know it. Go Devils. And as always, you guys know. Well, yeah, as always, you guys know it is Go Devils. Have a phenomenal day. And yes, forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
27-yard line. That's a great call. Play fake. Farmer will put it up. Throws over the middle. Pull. Touchdown. Flag.
3rd down and 5. 11 swings it to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here he goes again.
Scadaboo is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure.
This team this year. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025. Just one the other way.
Edwards pulls up and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money.